Prime Minister Keir Starmer said on Tuesday that the UK will recognize a Palestinian state at the United Nations General Assembly in September, unless Israel takes specific steps to improve conditions for Palestinians. If Britain follows through, it would be the second Western power on the UN Security Council to do so, after France did last week. This reflects growing international criticism of Israel's actions in its war against Hamas in Gaza, where a humanitarian crisis has left over 60,000 Palestinians dead. Starmer said Britain would act unless Israel allows more aid into Gaza, clearly rules out annexing the West Bank, and commits to a lasting peace process that supports a two-state solution, where Israel and Palestine coexist peacefully. The Palestinian people have suffered terribly, Starmer told reporters. In Gaza, aid failures have led to starving babies and children too weak to stand. These images will stay with us forever. The suffering must end. He said the government will review progress in September, but emphasized that no one would have a veto over the decision. Starmer made this decision after recalling his cabinet during the summer holidays to discuss a new peace plan with European leaders and ways to increase humanitarian aid for Gaza's 2.2 million people. Israel's foreign ministry responded on X, calling Britain's plan a reward for Hamas that would hurt efforts to reach a ceasefire in Gaza. Previous British governments have said they would recognize a Palestinian state when the time is right, but never set a specific timeline or conditions. With international aid agencies warning that people in Gaza face starvation, more lawmakers in Starmer's Labour Party have urged him to recognize Palestine to pressure Israel. The issue gained attention after French President Emmanuel Macron announced last week that France would recognize Palestine in the territories Israel captured in the 1967 Middle East War. Israel and its strong ally, the United States, criticized France's move, calling it a reward for Hamas militants who control Gaza and whose attack on Israel on October 7, 2023, triggered the current war. At the start of the Gaza war in October 2023, when Starmer was opposition leader, he fully supported Israel's right to defend itself. However, since becoming prime minister over a year ago, his stance has become tougher toward Israel. His government dropped the previous administration's challenge against arrest warrants issued by the International Criminal Court for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and has suspended some arms sales to Israel. Last month, Britain sanctioned two far-right Israeli cabinet ministers, Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich, accusing them of repeatedly inciting violence against Palestinians.